Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Carlson. Today, Monday, the 23rd, and I am 11 days out with the COVID. I know a lot of you have had it. Some have had it more mild than others. I would say that in our household, it's been fairly mild. We keep our prayers out for everyone that's had it, whatever level you've had, prayers for you and your family for speedy recovery. Won't get into that because we won't talk about it. But today, do I need a contingency plan? Listen, hope you're all enjoying your strangely warm cup of coffee. I know I am not. It's afternoon, not now. See my hair? This is 11 days of COVID. This I've been working on for a while. All right, do I need a contingency plan? The answer is yes. Of course, everybody needs a contingency plan for whatever might hit you. In the state of Florida, I've born and raised here, lived here my whole life. I can tell you that we have contingency plans for a lot of things. We call them emergency preparedness plans or whatever it is. But a contingency plan is basically something that you put together, whether it's in case of a fire, hurricane, power outage, job loss, one job loss, two job losses, can't pay your mortgage, whatever it is. What can I do to try and help be prepared and help myself out and my family out along the way? We've been working on hurricane plans our whole lives. We know that we need things like fuel, water, food in order to be able to survive perhaps an extended amount of time without proper resources and being able to get those things. So this is kind of a different contingency that we need to think about, but we need to consider the same things. We can get deliveries of certain things now, but it still takes a while for them to arrive. So try to always keep some things on hand to make sure that you're safe, prepared, as well as you can be in case an emergency hits you that causes you to not be able to go anywhere for a week or 2 weeks, or you can't go anywhere, so now your spouse can't go anywhere, and now your child is also stuck at home for 2 weeks. So there's lots of things to think about and wrap your hands around. And I'm going to try and give you a few tips of things that we do. Now, from a hurricane perspective, I always kept plenty of food on hand so that we don't have to worry about if we can't get the delivery of food or if someone can't drop food off at our house. We have staples that give us protein, carbs, the things that we need for energy and to sustain ourselves. You might not be able to get fresh fruits and vegetables. Right now, you can still get that stuff from Publix and get them to deliver it, or from Walmart. But just in case you can't, or because you're not working now, and maybe two of you not working, maybe you're not able to work from home, so you might not be getting a paycheck. So it's time to save. Start by putting away some cash. So one of the first things you want to do, and this is one of Dave Ramsey's tips that he always gives, that he wants you to put away an emergency fund in cash, $1,000 cash. I know that's a lot of money. I know it might take you a while, but start working on it today because you never know when you might need it, and leave it there and try your best not to touch it. Work on off of other savings or other things. Try to get $1,000 cash into a safe and keep it locked there for an emergency like this. You never know when you're going to need it. You never know what's going to happen. And God forbid, in the middle of a crisis like this, when you're stuck at home, maybe another crisis hits, like a hurricane. Two of them just ran through here, and one of them is hitting Long Island today and Rhode Island. Prayers for my friends in the Rhode Island and New England area right now. So once you've got some money set aside, also start getting things like food set aside. You can buy big, huge bags of rice at Sam's Club, Walmart, just about anywhere. You can get big bags of rice. White rice stores, I'm not a prepper, so I'm not going to give you all of the tools and tips and tricks of what to get, but save money. You don't have to buy prepackaged meals from any of the prepackaged meal companies that are out there. Buy white rice. It stays for a long time. You can eat it on a regular basis and rotate it out of your normal eating schedule or meal schedule. So it's something that you can get. Also, canned beans, or better, dried beans. Dried beans store longer and they take up less space. So a good source of protein and nutrients, rice and beans. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's something that can sustain you if you need to, if there's something more than a small natural disaster. Obviously, if you're in the middle of a pandemic, you need to eat as healthy as possible. just some tips from an emergency preparedness for things that you might want to save. Money, food. Water, probably not going to be that big of a deal. We're in Florida, so we're blessed with lots of water, but you might think about some sort of water sterilization. A lot of times when natural disasters hit, you end up with water that you get a boiled water notice. There's a pipe busted somewhere, so the water might still be flowing, but it might not be as clean as you want. And it's tempting to go dip it out of the lake and start drinking it. Probably okay for you, but you want to boil it. Make sure that you've got some sort of resource to sterilize that water. And there are several tools available. You can run up to my friend at Andy Thornall's in Winter Haven and probably pick up some of those. Medicines. You obviously can't have all the medicines on hand that you need, but think about vitamins, specifically a multivitamin, maybe some vitamin C, things that'll help your immune system. Also think about things like Tylenol or ibuprofen, which do two things. They can help. I'm not a doctor, but in my house, they help with headaches, which is one of the symptoms that my wife had last week, severe headaches. So Tylenol or ibuprofen, whichever one works best for you. They can also help bring down a temperature. I ran a temperature up to 102. It hadn't gotten higher than that, and it hasn't been around for a few days. But Tylenol and ibuprofen can help. You also want to make sure, like I said, the vitamins and maybe some water supplements. So not having a bunch of Gatorade or Powerade around your house, but having some sort of additive that you can get. I know I like to use e-fuel when I'm riding my bike, running or working out to mix in with a jug of water. It comes in a jug from my friends over at Legacy Bicycle Center down here in Sebring. So you could stop in and get something like that to help add electrolytes and a little bit of sugar so that it helps with your energy level and helps replenish electrolytes, especially if you're running a fever and you're sweating a lot. The last thing on the list might not be super important and you might not think of it a lot, but look at it from this perspective. Right now, we've got at my house, 2 adults and a child locked in the house together. The 12-year-old Jet has been able to play video games, and we're hoping that his school comes through with some homework for him. It's been a week and we haven't really gotten anything yet. So that he can work on his homework. Not something that we're really good at because we don't really understand this newfangled, whatever they call it, math sort of thing. But we can help and we can get it done. But that's not all you're going to do the whole time. You don't want anyone trapped in front of the TV or trapped in front of the computer or trapped in front of a video game. Trapped, kids don't think it's trapped. But maybe also think about things like a deck of cards, a game of Uno, a game like Monopoly, which takes several hours. We talked a couple days ago about whether or not we had a chess set in the house. We do, we just don't know where it is. I know we've got a Jenga set somewhere. So on a general basis, even thinking about whatever the emergency that might be hitting you, think about having some games on hand so that family has something to do outside of staring at the TV. Or if the TV's out and there is no power, then you're going to be suffering a little bit more. And in line with that, I guess this is kind of the entertainment side of what to do during the week. I would also like for you to think about having some books. It's a good idea to have a bookshelf in your house anyway that has some books, maybe a few that you haven't read. Maybe you can rotate them out through one of the used bookstores, but always have a few books on hand so that you have something to read in case of an emergency where you want to get your mind off whatever it is that's going on. You don't really feel like focusing on the TV. I know sometimes the sound and light can affect people's headaches in certain ways. So have a few books around your house so that you also have something to read. And finally, have a good support system. I know that I live in Sebring because of the support system that it offered me at the time that we moved back. That's my parents live here. So if I need something, Mom can come by even during these times and toss it out the window into my front yard. She hasn't literally done that, but she could come and toss it out the window and still be safe and provide me with some things that I need. I know we used delivery service to get some food earlier in the week. And you can also, hopefully your friends will help. I know I called my buddy Dan yesterday to go try and bird dog something for me. And I really appreciate that support network that I have, my friends and family. I love you very much. And that's going to do it for Coffee with Carlson this week. I'm going to sign out because it kind of hurts just standing here talking for 10 or 15. I guess I've only been on here 10 minutes so far, but it's kind of tiring and it's hot up here today. So I wanted to say thank you for everyone that has sent us well wishes. We appreciate it. We are getting better. Can't wait to get back to normal. We hope everyone else that's out there that's suffering through this disease can also get back to normal and get well. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you again for joining me on Coffee with Carlson. If you need to reach us, the office is still open. We're at 129 South Commerce, right off the Circle in downtown Sebring, or you can reach us by phone, 863-382-4141, or check us out on the web, carlsonaccounting.com. Anytime. You can even schedule an appointment there. And right now, probably for the rest of this week, any appointments I'll have will continue to be either by phone or virtual. Thank you for the understanding of all of our friends, clients, and family. God bless and have a great week.